Hi, in this video, we will explore the process of registering the users for the ESOl Purchasing system. As a system administrator, you can create new users in the system by going into the Security section, then by selecting the Registration Manager. This will prompt you to a window that is showing all registered users within the system. This window has many features and functionalities depending on how you're going to deal with your users. First of all, you can put all of your users under system lockdown by clicking lock all users, or unlock them to start the purchasing cycle by clicking unlock all users. If you are in the beginning of the cycle and you want to email all of your users their credentials like the usernames and password for the system, you can just click email password, and that will direct you straight away to the email. That will send an email to all of your registered users to able to register on the system and log in with their credentials for the username and password. If you want to add a new user, just simply click on register. This will direct you to the user registration window. This window is responsible for creation of the new users on your system. In order to create the new user, you have many fields that you can fill out, like the first name, last name, email address, and a photo for the user if you require. In order to process this, we're going to be starting with creation like with a demo account. Let's call it school system, and the last name, let's call it admin, for example. And let's just make a test since it's under Cairo English School, so it's test@cesegypt.com. Of course, if you type in the email correctly or anything like that, once you click out, you'll be hit with an error message stating that the email is invalid, so you need to make sure that the email is valid so it can be entered on the system. Of course, within the user itself, there's a few configurations that we need to require to make according to the level of hierarchy in the organization, like their access level. Like, for example, if we're creating a new user, as we are trying right now for the school system admin, we'll be using the default workflow that we have currently created in the demo, and we'll be discussing how to make this required configuration for all users, like the workflow, the roles, or the school sections, or the year groups, depending on each organization, in further details in the upcoming videos. After we assign the workflow for the user, we need to assign their role, which will be in this current state school admin. Once you choose a role for the users, again, this is completely configurable per each school, so there will be no trouble configuring this, and we'll discuss this in further details in the upcoming videos. Once you change the level of role in the user, each role changes the required fields that is required for it. So, for example, if I choose a head of year, I will be required to input school section. If I choose the year group requester, then the year group is going to be required in my data entry, as you can see. So, right now, we're going to be starting to create a school admin account. This one does not require any sections or year groups. Of course, we need to choose from the list of schools that we have. And if there's, as we mentioned before, if there's a department, we need to choose a department. But currently, we're creating a school admin account. Last but not least, the menu category. This is a crucial part for the user registration process. This ensures that each user has a set of menu items or sections appearing to them. If it is a school admin, it will have the full access. If, for example, if it's a regular user, it will just have a few set of menus that they can access and use in order to navigate through the system. Each is dependent on the level in the hierarchy, which we will discuss once we create the workflow and the rules and the sections within the system. For example, right now we're going to be choosing the administrator, and we have two options in the end. We have either submit and exit or submit. Submit, you can click, of course, and it will prompt you to a message saying that it's been saved successfully, but it doesn't revert back to the user's list window. In order to go back to the user list window, we can use one of two options. We either can click back or submit and exit. Submit and exit will click, and it will prompt us straight away to the main window. In this window, as we mentioned before, it has all of the registered users within the system. You'll be able to use it to navigate through the users, reset their passwords, email them their passwords, or put them under lockdown or remove the lock on the system if the user has been locked in the system. In the window, you will find few registered filters, like for example, if you want to put some users that are in use, or to show that only the one that are not in use, as this case, or if you click on show all records, it will direct you to the users that are selected either in use or not in use. It doesn't distinguish. Under that, you will find a filter for the amount of entries that you can actually see in the window. Right now, we have it under 10 items and we have about 14 entries. If we expanded that to additional, like for example, make it 25 entries, you'll be able to view all entries in one page. This feature is very helpful if you are searching for a certain criteria and you want just display a maximum amount of data. And as you can see, we have like up to 100 entries. So let's get back to the main case. 10 entries, and if you are searching for example for user, like right now we created a school system admin and I cannot find in the grid view in front of me. We can do a quick search in the search for text box. Once you do that, it's searched in all text fields within the table in front of you for that certain word. So if example, if you just click in school, it will get any user that has the word school or any details about school. If I click admin, it will show me only the people that has the word admin in them. If I, for example, if I said principal, it will get me only the user registered within the role, or the name containing principal is searched through all the text fields within the area. As we mentioned before, you can lock all your users under clicking lock all users. Once you do that, it will put your system under complete lockdown, and that will end the purchasing cycle for your school. So once you click that, make sure that this is the end of the cycle. Otherwise, your user will not be able to access the system. As you can see, all users has been locked except the current user, which is the administrator, of course. Once you want to unlock all users for the next purchasing cycle, just simply click unlock all users and click OK. And you'll be able to unlock all of your users to start the purchasing cycle. Point of notice, all of the users created for the usernames and passwords in the system are completely system generated. You will not have to be inputting any username or password, and they are all encrypted within the database. As you can see, when we created the school system admin, once we created that, it created the username by itself. It doesn't require you to create any users on the system. Once you finish creation the process, and for example, if one of your users left the organization suddenly within the purchasing cycle, you can put them under lockdown. For example, like just click by clicking the lock icon, and that will tell you that the user has been locked. If, for example, if the user got locked and you want to unlock the user, just simply click unlock, and you will find that the icon changes depending on the current status as well. We have two options as well. We have the option of emailing password, sending the password for the user in case if they forgot their password, or the option of resetting the password for the user if they have forgot it completely and don't remember even their own password. These two options are basically a redundant functionality that you're required to do in case most of your users sometimes in the beginning of new academic year forget their usernames or passwords. But if you chose the button of emailing password, this prompts you to email all active users, as you can see in the message. And once you email the active users, all of them will receive an email address with their usernames and passwords, which I will show shortly. I will send an email right now to all active users. And as you can see, it keeps in progress. It's telling you the status of the process of sending the emails. Once it finishes sending the email, it will communicate with you with status like that has been sent. It will show you that it has been sent once it refreshes the window. And now that confirms for us that all of our users have received an email address with the usernames and their passwords. Okay, so right now, let's just explore the option of the email address. And we get a log, for example, on the email to see if we just go to the email address, we will find that I have been emailed with the following message: Dear school system, and with the credentials. You will find in the email address the link for the ESOl Purchasing system on top of our YouTube channel that you can go to at any time and have a reference for accessing the system, or if you have any troubles with the further inquiries within the system, you can email us on the support email and I'll be more than happy to reply to your requires. Let's get back right now to the email, to the school system. This basically covers most of the functionality within the school registration manager. But if you want to, for example, the last step, if for our user by any chance left the organization completely and want to remove the detail, like so, you can do that by just clicking delete button in here. It will ask you to, are you sure that you want to delete? You just click OK, and that record has been successfully deleted. This covers most of our details functionalities within that window. If you want to explore any further details or the hierarchy, you can just follow us in the upcoming videos, and that will grant you full access to the details of it. Right now, in the meantime, just make sure once you create the user, make sure it is relevant within your organization, because if you made a necessary user, like for example headmaster, and then do not use it, it will be an integral part of the processing cycle, like for the approval. So please, if you're gonna do that, make sure that the user and their workflow and their roles are relevant to your organization.